We're just okay, and we play some
Movies.
games. We're just okay.
Movie watchers.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Just Okay Movies. I'm your host, BIGGIESIZE, and I'm joined by...
Mandy, your sister.
Mandy, who told you could come here?
Oh, I just wanted to talk about Bird Box again.
No, I gotta thank everyone for saying such nice things about that episode. Mandy was so nervous going into it. I don't blame her. First episode's on here, I was nervous. I'm still nervous at times. But all the warm reception you all gave her, how she just knocked it out of the park. I told her about it. It made her day. So thank you guys so much. But How you doing, Gweedo?
I am doing good. Doing well. Hanging in there. We're ramping up for 300, episode 300 of the Just Okay Gamers podcast. And we got some fun treats in store. I think it should be fun for everyone.
And 300 episodes, man. I just can't imagine. I just absolutely cannot imagine.
It's tough to think about. I don't know if it was good or bad. I don't know. It's been a long journey.
I think we'd all definitely say it's been good. No, it's always wonderful. Even the episodes that are just super low key. I feel like last episode was really, really good. You know, nice low key, just chatting about stuff, some game talk. Or if you do a lot of game talk, you know, you've got both covered. You guys are way more interesting than you guys think you are. And it's great for listening. Oh yeah, absolutely, man. So I'm sure 300 is going to be fantastic. Absolutely can't wait. So, Gweedo, I know last time I pitched an idea, it didn't go over very well, but I think I've got one that will be right down your alley, and we could take it a bunch of different ways.
Oh, we're doing Biggie Size movie pitch hour?
Correct. This is Biggie Size movie pitch time again. We'll see how this one goes. Okay. So this is just a working concept, so it may be a little abstract, but we can make it the way we want to. But the movie is called Pound Town. And the way it works is, or at least in my concept, a kid moves into this really small town. It's, you know, down on its luck, maybe only like, I don't know, 800 or 900 people live there, real tiny. And he was from a like varsity wrestling team back in his big city, we'll say New York or whatever, where he was like the big guy. But he's going to this town. They don't really have a wrestling scene. And he's just kind of doing his thing, being in school, all that stuff. But he gets into a situation. Maybe it's he gets picked on. No, I actually have one better. He's working at let's say a McDonald's, and someone goes in to try to rob him. Well, he uses his slick, varsity skilled wrestling to take him down. And everyone just loves him for it. Now, this is where things can get a little interesting. We can take this a couple different ways. So we could take it the superhero route, where he decides that he wants to use his wrestling skills to fight crime. So whenever crime's happening, he puts on, I don't know, maybe like a luchador costume or some sort of wrestling costume and takes him down with his slick wrestling skills. I also have another idea, and this one's a little more crazy. So the town's doing bad, and he's like, I want to make this town great. I want to bring wrestling to this town. So he like moves up in like the government somehow and says, we're going to make this town like the most popular town in the world for wrestling fans, in that we're going to have a 24-hour winner takes all match with all the citizens in the town. So like you are just like, people are wrestling each other for 24 hours, and whoever's standing at the very end wins.
It's like The Purge, but with wrestling.
Yeah, no, that's a good way of looking at it. Absolutely. But it just sets itself up so well. You see like two old people, like, I don't know, like a young guy and a grandma's like on a roof. He just like grabs her head, just drops her down like 2 stories onto the pavement. And like, just like wacky hijinks like that. I think I like that one more. That one's crazy enough that it's like backyard wrestling, but it's the whole city.
Right. Yeah. I could see it happening. We just have to figure out the in between, rather than just saying he moves up in the government.
Exactly. I agree there. Or maybe it could be a here we go. This might work better. He's like the top of the WWE or whatever. He's like big and he's gonna win it all, but maybe he like does something cliche like, I don't know, kill someone or runs over a puppy and gets bad publicity. Or they just kick him out for whatever reason. He's like, you can't do this no more. You're too crazy. You fucked up. So then he becomes the steroids. There we go. Perfect. I don't know why I went to killing someone and run down a puppy. My mind's in a real morbid place right now. So the only job he could get is becoming a mayor of this tiny ass town for whatever reason.
That's the only job he can get.
That's the only job. Maybe he goes back home to his hometown. Okay, that could work. They're like, where. Yeah. I think that's closer than it being a little kid.
So far, it's the story of Jesse the Body.
Oh, who's that?
Jesse the Body Ventura?
Ooh, I don't know who that is.
Oh, wow. He's like, listen here on 9/11. 9/11, the seventh tower came up and went down. He became the governor of Minnesota.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You don't know fucking Jesse the Body? He's in Predator.
Oh.
I ain't got time to bleed.
I actually never seen Predator, so I don't know. I know. But yeah, that's my idea. I think it could work. I think the angle you mentioned, like having someone like that Jesse guy,
that Jesse guy.
Just that Jesse guy. I think it'll be a fun idea.
Okay. So hold on. We're skipping a whole part. He just stopped at he becomes mayor. And then what? He decrees that everyone needs to fight?
Yeah, maybe it's let's see. How could you work that in? Maybe you go with the town's broke and they're needing to like attract people, and maybe it's just like a city in the middle of the desert. There's no reason to be there. But they're like, we need a reason to be here. And I know how wrestling works.
And
so
every year they have a battle royale with wrestling. And they come and they wrestle, and it's called Mortal Kombat, and Goro's there and Shang Tsung.
Now, I need you to take my town wrestling movie seriously, Guido. Money's on the line.
Okay, how about this? Instead of him becoming mayor, which is absurd. All right. It's absurd, Biggie, that you would suggest that. How about it's like a retired wrestler, and we'll go along the lines of him being in a McDonald's and it's about to get robbed. He's just a customer. He doesn't work there. And he goes and does like a big power move on the guy, like power slams him into the counter and stops the robbery. And meanwhile, everybody in the restaurant is like recording it, so it becomes like a viral sensation. And that's like the momentum that he gains of building towards this all 24-hour wrestling thing where people just want to be like him.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So then when people start noticing other people doing something wrong, they just start wrestling them. And then it just starts getting out of control in some way where everyone's wrestling everyone, or should we keep it isolated to them just doing it to settle a disagreement?
No, I want to get it to the point where they are all wrestling each other because they're crazy. So maybe they've just become corrupted by the social media influence that it gained, that they all just like see like, oh shit, he's did it, so we're going to create our own viral video. And then, it just kind of chain reactions out of that. And meanwhile, if it goes in that direction, he could be the only one that's like, no, what are you doing, you idiots? He's like the straight man. He's like, no, I didn't want this. I was just trying to help. And you guys took it to this extreme level where grandmas are, doing fucking Canadian destroyers off the top belt to their grandchildren, and I just wanted to stop a crime.
Ooh, that's good. That's good, actually. And that hits on a lot of topics like social influencing. So that would really ring, true to a lot of people, that it could just get that absurd.
Right. Yeah. I think that it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to just push it in that direction. There'd be a bit of suspension of disbelief that people would take it to that extreme, but it wouldn't be so out of the norm. People do all sorts of jackass stunts to be popular. So maybe it just takes this town by storm. Like, people start selling merch and making money, and then other people are trying to do stuff. Copycats are out there. They're doing a Juicy Smollett kind of thing where they're paying each other to go rob them so that they can record them doing a tombstone pile driver to each other.
Interesting. I want this one scene to happen. Okay. All right. We're in a delivery room, and like the lady's just like pushing, but they can't get the baby out. And the doctor's like, we got to get this baby out or it's going to die. And then he's like, I know what I can do. And he like grabs the lady by like where her head is facing the ground and her legs are up and like where his head is. And he like does that like pile driver move where he slams her head into the ground. And then like the camera sits above them and you just see the little baby pop up. It's like, boop.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Does it fly out?
Yeah, it just shoots out of her vagina, and the camera's already panned up like against the wall. You just see the baby like shooting up in the air.
Does it make a noise?
And then
like,
out of frame. Whee! Yeah, just a popping noise, and it just like a little like faint little crying sound, and just falls back down. I see it in my head, and it's just pure gold. So I think this is a winner. This is definitely one that we need to get a move on before someone steals it.
That could be one of the step ups in the viral chain where, like, they're recording the birth of the child, the dad is, and the doctor's like, hey, I just saw this happen. That wrestler did this at that robbery. This will get it out real quick.
That's good. That is, Gweedo, I know why I keep you on here. You are an idea man.
Hey,
no, that's perfect. Yeah, he's taking his wife in. You've got that love connection because he's got to be, you're right, he's got to be the straight man, the everyday guy. He's got his wife. He's having his first kid. He's very excited. And then you just see like this like dinky looking doctor next to this like big buff guy. He's like, hey, watch this. Just takes his wife and what is that move called? A pile driver?
Pile driver. Yeah. Yeah. Tombstone pile driver, probably if they're keeping their legs straight up in the air.
Gotcha. What's the move where they have them like over their shoulder and they just like drop on the ground?
Have them over their shoulder and they drop them on the ground. Oh, yeah. They have them on their back and then they fall backwards?
Yeah, that's it.
That's a Samoan drop.
What do you do when you when you're like up in the air and you put them on the table and you fall on them?
That move doesn't have a name. Like the way that you would fall on the person has a move. So like if you go up on the turnbuckle and do a backflip, that's a moonsault. If you just jump on them, just straight in the air and belly flop on them, that's a frog splash. If you do a front flip and then fall on them belly flop, that's a senton bomb.
Interesting. That's something else we should do in the movie. I think it'd be kind of interesting, especially early on when people are like doing these certain moves. It just like maybe pauses for a second before they like land on them, and it just shows a little caption of what the move is.
Ooh, yeah, like a little stylized flare, kind of a la Zombieland-ish with the double tap stuff.
Yes. It could also be, we could probably get funding from WWE because this could be like a gateway for people to get into it. Because then after the movie, they're like, they see like a commercial for WWE. They're like, oh yeah, I know that move. I know the name of it.
WWE has their own movie studio.
Even better. It's already there, man. All right, I'm gonna buy us 2 tickets to Yeah, we'll just pitch them. I'll get two tickets wherever they're at. We're gonna go. We're gonna lay it down.
It's Connecticut.
Connecticut. Oh, not bad. I thought it was more. I figured like New York or somewhere. Connecticut, huh? Who's the main guy? Like Billy Mann or something like that?
Close. It's Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon. I guess he's the one we need to talk to. Let me see if I can find his email address.
Yeah, just contact him. I'm sure he usually responds pretty quick to these unsolicited ideas for their movie studio.
Okay, very good. Oh, actually, okay. Vince McMahon's wife. Maybe that. Oh, Linda McMahon. Wait, is she a politician?
She's on some sort of cabinet for Trump, or was at least for a brief period of time.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'll shoot him an email. I'll let you know next week how it goes. And we'll go for there after that. Well, that's Pound Town, guys. Let us know what you think of this idea. Yeah. I think it's not bad. I think we've made something very interesting.
Here, for a little added flair, the town name should be like Low Beach Station. So then the initials are LBS, and then it's LBS Town, Pound Town. Do you get it?
LBS. Oh, like the metric pound.
Yeah.
Ooh, very interesting. Damn it. That's good shit, man. Nice work.
Hey. Yeah, you too.
Thank you, buddy. I just want to see a grandma just get grabbed and just drop down like 3 stories on her head. Sure. That just sounds like a fun time. No one will be frowning after this movie. I guarantee it.
Oh, absolutely.
No, man. Thank you, buddy. So, man, what have you been watching lately? Anything good?
I just watched the movie Bumblebee.
Ooh, the sorta reboot, you could say, of the Transformers series.
I wouldn't call it a reboot. It's more a prequel than anything. I think that the timeline still holds up because this movie takes place in the 80s.
Fascinating. Whoa, what's your thoughts?
It is okay. It's serviceable. It's definitely the best of the franchise, except for maybe the first one because that was more a spectacle than anything. But it has a solid, understandable plot. John Cena is in it, who plays kind of the antagonist, sided with the Decepticons, who are the main antagonist. And Bumblebee basically crash lands on Earth in the 80s. First time he's on Earth. They show how he lost his voice. They have Bumblebee talking like normal too in the beginning of the movie. And he goes and becomes the car for this girl who just turned 18, has a lot of family issues. Meanwhile, he has the location of Optimus Prime in his hard drive, kind of a R2-D2 scenario there. And the Decepticons are coming. It's just 2 Decepticons. It's not like a whole army. There's only 3 Transformers in this whole movie. 2 Decepticons are coming down to Earth to try and find Bumblebee so that they can extract the knowledge of Optimus Prime's location. That's pretty much the plot of the movie. And it's good. John Cena plays a military captain of some sort. And there's also like a scientist for the military. And the Decepticons deceive them, surprise, surprise, and say, Bumblebee, we're here from another planet. Bumblebee's going to destroy this planet. We need to find him. You need to help us. We need to tap into your satellites and shit. And the whole time, John Cena's like, hold on. No, I don't think we should be listening to these guys. They called themselves the Decepticons. We should probably not take what they say at face value, which was refreshing that, this big, muscular dude in the army is kind of the voice of reason for the stupid humans. I thought was enjoyable, and fighting was cool. It wasn't too over the top like the past Transformers movies. Overall, it was an okay film. I'm not disappointed that I watched it.
Nice, very nice. I only got to watch a little bit of it from someone else's screen on a plane. So I was kind of watching it. I was like, this is actually kind of cool. I didn't know what was going on, but I mainly just saw the opening part where they're on Robot Land, whatever that planet's called, and they're fighting. I think that's canon what it's called. And
Robot Land, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That was really cool. I liked a lot of that. There's something about these Transformer films. The beginnings are always really well done. The rest is depends on, I guess, your tolerance or just what you like. Because I felt the same way about Transformers 2, which I felt like was the worst one. The beginning was fantastic. The rest
They kind of just need to forget about the humans. Give us a Transformers movie that takes place on Cybertron. That's just all Transformers. Fuck humans, man. We don't need to relate to them. Give us Transformers.
Right. Yeah, they really need to just do a movie where it's about the fight between them and the Decepticons. That's the good stuff. You know, they made games about it and they were a lot of fun. And the story was, deeper than I thought it would be. And that's what's exciting. And I want to learn about that world. I kind of want to learn about how that world was before the war happened. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's just so weird that I kind of want to see what an everyday life would have been for them and then see them go into disarray. I guess kind of like what the Planet of the Apes did, except it's the Decepticons and the Autobots fighting on Robot Land.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the from what I saw of it looked kind of cool. It's funny you mention about the John Cena being the voice of reason. Now the two robots Decepticons that came down, I think one of them was the flying one. That's Starscream, right?
No, I don't think Starscream was in this one. I don't know which ones are in it.
I can't remember what the plane one is. I don't know. But they always have those like really hardcore names.
Starscream. Spoiler alert: he dies early in the movie. He's the one that rips out Bumblebee's vocal cords, and then
that must have been the part I saw. Yeah, because I saw him flying around and ripped his vocal cords out. Right.
And then Bumblebee ends up, going into hiding. And then two other Decepticons come down.
Right. Okay, so Starscream was early on and then two more come down. Okay, yes. I didn't catch that part. Interesting. Well, I just find it so funny that, they're like going up to John Cena and being like, yeah, this one guy, he's trying to destroy the whole world. He's like, oh, what's his name? Oh, it's Bumblebee.
No, they don't
Bumblebee.
Do that. That's not how it
do they not? Okay.
No, the girl actually names him Bumblebee.
Oh, interesting. So that's how he gets his name.
His name that Optimus calls him is like, B-37 or something.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, after you mentioned that, it just made me laugh in my head that they would like say that to him. We gotta be careful. This Bumblebee, he's gonna destroy. Oh, what's your name, sir? Starscream. Yeah. Okay, sure. Oh, well, very good, man. Very good. I think I might still sit and watch just from the scenes I saw. It looked for Transformers. It looked kind of fresh. And
yeah, it's not bad. Give it a shot. You won't be disappointed. If you got nothing to do on a Sunday and you're just kind of lazing about, it's a good movie for that. Like just a time passer, but you're not going to get anything special out of it, I think.
Watching anything else?
No, I just started third season of True Detective. I watched 2 episodes of that. It's really good. But nothing in terms of movies. How about yourself? What have you been watching?
Well, I just finished, really, it was just a little while ago, a little movie called Us. And I've got to say right now, it's my favorite film of the year. We're still early in, but right now it's my favorite. It completely blew my mind. Like I went in with pretty high expectations because it's received quite a bit of praise. And I was like, okay, I'm expecting something pretty good. And honestly, it was better than what I expected. And I'm just blown away by it. I to the point where I almost don't want to give away any of the story just because it's a fun ride, especially if you're going in not knowing anything about it. The most I'll say, just so you have some context, is a family. It's a husband, wife, and a older daughter and a younger son are being chased by, basically, you want to say lookalikes, and they want to kill them. The lookalikes want to kill the family, so they can basically take their lives and become them. That's the most I want to give, because everything else about it is just so stinking good. The acting was fantastic. The imagery it felt so fresh, especially the early part. The early part's kind of showing how this ball started rolling. It's the wife. I think her character name is Adelaide. I think that's her name. As a younger child, she goes into this, what would you call it? House of Mirrors, and discovers a person in there that looks just like her. And that,
well, of course, it's a house of mirrors. They're all going to look like you.
And that's very true. And that's where it sets that scene up so well, is she's like looking at the mirror, but she's looking at her back. And then as she's looking at it, it turns around to face her. It is so stinking creepy. And that's the only thing I want to give away, because there's a lot of really good moments in this film. Actually, I want to talk about it so bad, but go see it. I'm sure we'll talk about it again, maybe as a review, because there's just so many good moments. And I don't want to spoil any of them, but go check it out. The imagery when they're at, I'm trying to remember. It's in California. I can't remember the pier. It's a real popular pier that has all of, like, the entertainments and the Ferris wheel and all that. There's this awesome shot. It's at night. She's walking up on the beach, and you kind of see people hanging out. Like, they build a fire on the beach. They're all joking around and stuff. She's all by herself. But there's this beautiful shot with her facing out the ocean, and you see all the lights in the background, and it's a little overexposed, and it's just absolutely beautiful. The way they use the camera, the way they use lighting, made it feel real yet very surreal at the same time. The ending it's okay. And I think that's one thing I've heard from a lot of people, is they weren't too crazy about how it ended. And I would have to agree with that. I never saw Get Out. I heard it's not quite to that level. But if Get Out is actually better than this film, I'm shocked. Now I want to go watch Get Out then, because
you should watch Get Out to begin with. Just go watch Get Out. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I really should. I don't know. When I heard the subject matter of Get Out, I just wasn't too crazy about it. But after watching this and just how well, because I wasn't too crazy about the subject matter of this either, but I loved it way more than I thought I would. So I think I'm going to have the same reaction to Get Out. And apparently that they take place in the same universe. So I'm not sure if the story is similar or has any correlation to Get Out. I can't speak on that, but apparently they're calling it the Get Out universe, and this is supposed to be a part of it. And there's been questions if he's going to return to it, and he said, of course, he probably will, but apparently we're not going to get any more films in that universe anytime soon. But that's fascinating. Go see it. It's a great movie. I would recommend watching it in the theater if you can.
Oh, really?
I watched a cam of it because I just wasn't all that crazy about really seeing it, but I kind of regret that I did, even though the cam wasn't that bad. Guido thought it was awful.
He tried to peddle this cam on me. He was like, oh, hey, no, it's going to be great. I looked at it and it's fine. And like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I fired it up. And it's god awful trash. I don't know how you can watch a movie like that.
It was not that bad. It was not that bad. You know, naturally, when you've got just a tiny little camcorder, the screen's going to look a bit washed out, which is why I kind of regret seeing it that way, because even in that poor quality, the film still looked great. And I just couldn't imagine being, especially, I don't think it's showing an IMAX anywhere, but just on a standard projected screen, it would look really good, and it would sound really good as well. Just a lot of creepy visuals. A lot of them remind me a lot of a Stanley Kubrick film. You know, a lot of odd looking hallways that seem to seems like they shouldn't exist, especially around the end with some odd little things scurrying about. And it just feels all out of place and real surreal, but not to the point where you would say it couldn't happen. And I felt like that's something that Kubrick could do really well. And Peele seems to be pretty good. He kind of has that kind of eye. And so I'm happy to see, 2 home runs from him. And I hope we'll see more because great use of characters, great use of settings, a nice, simple story with an interesting twist at the end. What's not to love? It's great. Go watch it.
Yeah, I want to see it soon.
So, Gweedo, did you happen to see, and this just happened, I think just a couple hours ago, the trailer for the movie Joker?
I did see that trailer for the movie Joker. Yes, I have.
But no, the trailer just released for it. It's supposed to be about the life of the Joker. I don't know his real name in the comic books before he becomes the Joker. So how he grew up, what turned him into the guy he is. Although I think there's tons of different explanations on how that happened. You can just go back to the comic books. I think there's several tales of it. You can go to the first Batman film, the first gritty Batman film by Tim Burton, and see a different side of the Joker, who he starts as a wealthy businessman who falls into some acid. I just never liked that. I just never liked that setup for the Joker.
That's not
though I like him.
That's not what happens.
Yeah, it is. He's working for that business. And then he gets fired by his boss because he's a dick. Well, actually, they're both dicks. And then he falls into the acid.
Wasn't he the one who robbed Batman's parents? He was a robber. And then the cops were chasing him in that factory. And then he fell into the acid. I don't think he was working for a businessman.
Yeah, that happens before that point, because that was after he after he got fired. Here, let me look it up real quick. Let me make sure I didn't dream of a different Batman ending.
You're
Batman
probably right.
Story 1989. Okay. Mob boss Carl Grissom, who has already been targeted, Denton Gordon, discovers his mistress involved in a second in command, Jack Napier. Okay, so he worked for a gang and he was second in command. So he wasn't a businessman. So I am wrong about that. But, you still there, Gweedo?
Yeah, I'm still here. And he never got fired from his job.
He did get okay. I was a bit off on my telling of Batman 89. Okay. This is how it happened. Well, I mean, technically he did kind of get fired from his job because no, he actually didn't. No, you're right. He went and killed his boss. Oh boy, I need to watch Batman 89 again.
No, there's 100 other movies you should watch before the fucking 89 Batman.
But anyways, I don't know. For Joker, I kind of like him being a bit more mysterious. Like, I don't really care where he came from because he doesn't feel like a real person. And I think that's just part of the appeal. He feels almost mystical in a way. So I just think it kind of kills that character a bit when you're diving into, from at least what the trailer shows, that he's probably has some mental issues, maybe just depressed. Maybe that's the extent of it. Just can't seem to fit in and just eventually just goes off the deep end, almost like a serial killer kind of arc. And that's okay, but I felt like when you watch something like The Dark Knight, where you just don't know where he came from, it just makes him a little more interesting. I don't know. Do you feel the same way, or do you have a different feeling on the trailer and your reaction to it?
The trailer, it was all right. They're kind of making it into like this weird art housey kind of period piece thing. And it looks like his mom is sick and he's taking care of his mom. I don't want to feel bad for the Joker. I never want to feel bad for the Joker. Like, I don't know how you can make this movie. Like, you have to make the Joker a piece of shit. Even if they spend 3 minutes like, oh, well, here's why he turned into a piece of shit. He had something that went bad. I don't give a fuck, dude. It's the Joker. He's evil.
Right. I totally agree. It's okay to have a villain that, you can look at like the Joker and say, well, he's crazy and insane. I wouldn't be like him, but maybe he's got an interesting point. Everyone's crazy. You should just burn it all down and do what you want because this whole life thing is just a joke. I like that. Maybe you're kind of right. You got some points there. But then just seeing him be this schlubby guy who's just getting kicked in the balls in an alleyway, and his mom is maybe overprotective or overreaching, and now he just wants to put paint on his face and laugh at things. I don't care. That stuff just doesn't matter to me about the Joker, because I'm not supposed to, as you said, feel sorry for him in that way. Batman, of course, he's a good guy. I should be rooting for him. I should be seeing how he's overcome diversity, but I shouldn't see that from the Joker. It's odd. Maybe it'll end up being very good. Maybe we just have to not look at it as him being the Joker until he actually becomes it. And maybe in that light, it'll be fascinating. But I just, at least from the trailer and everything, or at least the concept of the film, I just can't make that separation.
Yeah. It looks pretty, I guess. It looks like it's got some cool shots in it. I'll see it. I don't know. It definitely, it looks self-contained, so it's not with the shitty ass DC universe. So that's a bonus. And it looks like it's not this overarching aliens coming to the planet, or Joker's gonna blow up half of the eastern seaboard, and it looks like it's just a short kind of character piece about the Joker, which is good, and what DC needs to do. They need to take a step back and make more self-contained movies, and I think this is a good step, but it might be too much of a step in that direction.
Yes, I totally agree. It's nice to see a small film. You're right. He's not going to poison Gotham's water supply or run into Arkham and let everyone out and everything go. At least we don't think it's going to do that. It seems like it's just going to be him becoming who he becomes. And that's kind of refreshing in a way. He might kill a couple of people, and that probably be about it. Maybe it'll end on him killing Batman's parents. That'd be kind of interesting, I guess. But in either case, yeah, it looks like a good film, but it also looks like a movie that it could be any other story and just take the Joker part out of it, and it would just be a movie about some serial killer becoming who he is, and he's just crazy. It doesn't really feel unique to the Joker, and that's where I guess I'm getting that disconnect. But yeah, looks like it's well shot, and Joaquin Phoenix has a good track record with films. He's a great actor, so I'm willing to give it benefit of the doubt for that, and I'll probably go and see it as well. Well,
excellent,
very good, absolutely. Well, if you want to discuss or share any other topics with us to discuss about, shoot us an email at justokmovies@gmail.com. Also send us a tweet at justokmovies. I appreciate you guys so much for your feedback on the episodes and everything. It's very, very helpful. I appreciate it greatly. So please continue to send us feedback, send us questions. We love getting it. And we will be back next week. Gweedo, as always, thank you so much, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. You all have a good rest of your week. Take care.
Bye.